Okay, I'm just going to connect up a few of these now. So I'm going to create another segment. I'm going to add it to there, and I'm just going to join it straight to here. And just add another couple of points here. Usually I don't like to have a harness that's dead straight, because if there's things don't get put exactly where I've run this harness, then you can end up running out of wire length basically to get to where you need to go. So usually I will just add a little extra, and from here I'm probably better off breaking that out and coming around this corner. So I will and you can see if you wanted to just add those extra points as you go, you can just click on the surface and attach it. Okay, so the first way I showed you was physically connecting these pins here, which can be, it's easy enough when you've only got 4 connectors, but when you have 20 connectors, 30 connectors, and you've got a huge model, it can actually be quite difficult to find these connectors in the model. You have to really know it well, and if you've got a connector here and another one here and another one here, which I've often had that are in different harnesses, it can just get really confusing as to which connector you need to attach your wire to, and it makes it a lot more difficult to find. So what I've found is it is much easier to just connect the wires through the browser here. Now I'm just going to bring up my AutoCAD electrical again, and we've got a ground wire here, that's 200 black, and it's going from CON1 to CON4, again pin 2 and pin 2. So if I go here to create wire, it's going to be a 200 black, and pin 1 is going to be CON1 pin 2, and pin 2 is going to be CON2 or CON4 pin 2. One thing I haven't been paying that much attention to, because this is just something that I've made up, is whenever I'm running my wires, I will generally start from the connection point here. That will be my first point, and then it will run out to wherever the end destination is. But it just keeps things neat when you go to do your reports and everything else, if everything starts at the one point here and then heads out to its destination. So if I click OK, now we can see we now have 2 wires. So I'm just going to finish off this connector here. Okay, so we've got a green, which is 640 green, which is going pin 3 to pin 3. And again, as you go, you would be filling in the information for what the wire actually is. And that's just much quicker, much better way of doing it, especially if you have, say, a 40 pin connector here too, and you're starting to try and pick pins that are behind other wires as this plug starts to fill up. I found that the browser over here because you know exactly what the connector is because you've renamed it, and the connector has all the correct information because we check the harness properties as well. It's a much easier way to do things. Okay, so last pin, so we're going pin 4 to pin 9, and that one is 660 blue. Just double check that. Yes. If you do need to change, if you pick the wrong one when you go to look at it, you can go back and just re-pick that if you need to. Pick it to whichever pin it actually needs to go. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video here and finish off adding all those wires because the process is exactly the same, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, all the wires are in now, and if you forget to add any of this information here, even at this stage, you can expand your wires folder and right click, go to harness properties, and you can still add any information you like. You can still rename the wire. And we'll just add the information to your reports again as once you finish the harness. Now you can see here this little icon here represents an unrouted wire. It's going from A to B, but we need it to go through this conduit because that is going to be the path of the harness. So you can automatically route all of these, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily work how you need it to. Sometimes if you've got a few different branches, what it might want to do is, or you've got a couple of connectors that are really close to each other, sometimes it will branch off somewhere else and then jump across in a way that you don't necessarily want it to or not expecting it to. So you can manually route the wires. So you can click on that, you can right click, and you can, let me find the right one, route. Now it says first segment is going to be here, and if you look at the destination, the last segment is going to be here, and just click OK, and that first wire has disappeared into this conduit, into the segments, and it's wound its way around the truck and comes out there. Now because of the way this is looking, I don't think I'm going to have any problems if I automatically route these. So if I automatically route all unrouted wires and click OK, and that makes it nice and tidy. You've got all your wires heading into this one conduit. Now you can still move any of these. 3D, move, rotate. You'll get a warning if you break something and you're trying to bend something in too tight a radius for your wires to bend in that thickness harness. But what this does, it just keeps everything nice and tidy. It adjusts the length of all the wires to suit the conduit that you want to run them through. So next up, we will move to the next step.